Hi, my name is Dolunay Dogahan and I'm a project manager at Core. I have a background in architecture. So a typical day in my life is not very typical because the life of a project manager can change according to what stage you're at, but also during a day we deal with different elements of a project, which includes being on construction side, going to meetings, reporting to the client, being in design team workshops and design team meetings where we do coordination of the project and design. But we also can be talking about the marketing of the project, the leasing of the project. It's a mix of being in the office and doing meetings, sending a lot of emails, taking a lot of calls, but also being out there in the site, on the construction sites. So I worked on two projects so far at Core since I joined. One is 120 Fleet Street project and the other one is 130 Fenchurch Street project. They're both large-scale, complex, super prime office buildings. And they're both really exciting projects. They're both in the pre-construction stage, and the project I'm working on at the moment, 130 Fenchurch Street, has just delivered a meanwhile use, which I'm really excited about. We have just opened Seed 130, which just launched a very exciting exhibition, so I'm quite proud of that. The best thing about my job is definitely the people. I get to talk to a lot of people from different disciplines, and like I said, my day-to-day looks very different because of it, and I get to learn different aspects of the industry and hear from different specialisms, so that's definitely the best part of my job. So the project management role has a quite diverse route into it. You can follow a project management course, which some of my colleagues have. I have myself studied architecture, and I do have a lot of colleagues and past classmates that have gone through that route as well. And there's also people that have gone from being on site, being from the contractor side, coming to project management. So there's no one way of being in project management, but of course understanding of technical skills and communicative skills is quite important. Because it's exciting, it's very diverse. Like I said, no 2 days look the same, and you get a good balance of being in the office, being on site, and every project has its own challenges, and that's also quite exciting. But generally, the construction sector is very diverse as well, and project management provides a really good route into the construction and real estate fields. Three main skills I would say in the life and job of a project manager. First one is definitely communication, which applies to many jobs, of course, but main job is making sure that the team communicates between themselves and everything is working smoothly. And understanding that is quite important, and making people communicate is quite important. The second one I would say is leadership. Kind of links to the first one, but the role of a project manager is to give the team a brief and give the team a direction, and to make sure that everyone's doing their best. And so leadership is quite important. And I would say the third one is lateral thinking. It's a job that requires you to think the bigger picture and to think about how all the pieces fall into place together. You can't really afford to be linear because there's a lot of things happening at the same time, but that's kind of the beauty and the challenge of the job. I would define my role in the built environment somewhat similar to a translator, because we translate between a lot of different stakeholders. I make sure that the communication between the client, the contractor, the design team, and everyone works, and sometimes the language they speak can be quite different. So the project manager, I would say, is like the translator between all those parties.